Hi, and welcome back for part two. Today we're going to get into the tool and go through the Qwizard. This is what you'll see when you log into Digioh. I do want to call out that you can actually go ahead and just duplicate a previous quiz, maybe the one that was created for you during onboarding, and start from there. But today we're going to walk through how to utilize the Qwizard and create one from scratch. So right now you should have already established your why, have your questions mapped out, and make sure everything's already all set before you're actually going into the tool. You don't want to come into the tool and start creating questions. Make sure they're mapped out ahead of time. So we're going to go ahead and click on create a new box. You can actually start with some themes as well too if you want, but we're going to go ahead and just click on Quiz Builder and go through what we call the Qwizard. So the first thing you're going to want to do here is name your quiz. So you're going to want to make sure that it's something that you can remember if you're creating multiple quiz. And since today actually is Father's Day, I'm going to go ahead and say Father's Day Quiz 2024. Next, you're going to want to select your store. We have a different selections here, but I'm going to be utilizing Shopify today. So you're going to want to go ahead and enter your Shopify store URL. I'm going to grab our test one, but this obviously is going to be your store here. And then you're going to want to decide too, when you're showcasing your recommended products, how you're showcasing them. We can do this by products, variants, collections, products and collections, variants and collections. Variants, you're going to want to make sure, obviously, if you have different sizes and colors, you're utilizing variants to make sure you're selecting those really granular, tailored products based on the colors, sizes that they may be choosing. But I'm going to go ahead and choose products today. And then click Save. This can take a minute or two, depending on how big your product catalog is, to go ahead and make sure that we're pulling in all of that information. So just let this go and don't click off the page. And next step, and if you haven't already done this during onboarding, is a crucial step. You're going to want to make sure that you're connecting your GA. Whether you utilize GA or not, this is actually how we pull in all of our reporting. Digioh actually doesn't do any reporting outside of GA, so it's really important that you go ahead and connect this so you can see how the quiz is actually performing. I'm going to go ahead and skip right now, but you just want to, only thing you need to do is just sign in with Google and just make sure you're the admin. Next, we're going to want to see if we want to actually collect email or not. We highly recommend that you're always collecting email address, even if you choose to skip and review results so they don't have to enter their email. But this is really going to make sure that you're able to follow up with these customers on a highly personalized way by understanding what they're telling you during the quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and do yes, use email collection page. All right. Now, again, since we already have our whole quiz mapped out, you're going to want to actually go ahead and utilize the boxes here that go out and correspond with the quizzes, with the questions that you've already laid out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to do a specific splash page. I'm actually going to go ahead and go right into the question. So I'm going to say, what are you shopping for today? Again, we want to start with questions that are really going to help with that guided experience. What are you shopping for today? And really make sure that we're guiding them along. Again, we don't want to start with super personal questions unless you're starting with name, but typically don't want to start with age or anything like that. And quick little tip here also too, you're going to want to label your questions. So however your label mechanism is, but you're going to want to label these. So this way you can go ahead and quickly go back to the questions inside the editor quickly and easily. So I'm going to name one question 1, what are you shopping for today? This is only visible to you, so it really doesn't matter how you do this. Just come up with a mechanism that's going to work for you. And I'm going to not do a subheader here, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go right into the answers. A subheader, though, could be something like select all that apply or up to 3, however you kind of want to make sure that you're doing that question. And I'm going to say tops and bottoms. Also, too, another little trick here and something that we're actually going to be removing from the Qwizard pretty soon. Go ahead and don't worry about weighting while you're in here. Just map out the questions and answers. We're actually going to do weighting in a separate video for you all, but just go ahead and don't worry about this today. All right, next we're going to go ahead and do our next question. And again, I'm going to keep it simple with these ones, but you can go ahead and select any of these ones that correspond with how you've mapped out your questions, whether they're single select, multi-select, imagery, just static buttons, radio buttons. We really have all the different examples that you could want listed here. And I'm going to go ahead and label this obviously with question 2, and I'm going to ask if they're male or female. And make sure that we're delivering the right products for that. And again, go ahead and just copy and paste this into here. And since I'm doing a single select, I'm going to go ahead and again skip that subheader, male, female. All right. My quiz is very simple. It's just these 2 questions, but again, yours probably a little bit more. So you're going to want to go ahead and keep continuing to do that next button. Also, a really interesting little trick of the trade too. If you actually get to this page and you realize you wanted to do a multi-select or something different, you can actually just click right on this little icon here and it'll bring you right back to this page so you can utilize a different option. So again, I'm going to keep this one the same and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click done. Very big trick of the trade here. Don't click finish quiz, click done, because this is actually going to take you into your overall settings for design, which is how we're going to go into the next video. But if you click finish quiz, a little bit of, again, a product improvement we're going to be creating is to remove this. But for right now, make sure you click done so you can go ahead into this global settings. This is going to save you a lot of time later, but what you can actually do is utilize this section to change your font across the board, change the background color across the board. And Nick, our head of design, is actually going to pick up the next video from how to utilize this section. So once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and click finish quiz, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.